Hello, you're listening to E-Bible Fellowship's new open form excerpts, and now we present the following excerpt.
Welcome to our question and answer program. Please go ahead with your call.
Hi, Chris. So if I understand correctly, in Revelation 6, the pale horse represents this second tribulation that we are now in, where there's no salvation, that began on May 21, 2011 to the end of the world in 2033.
That's correct. In Revelation 6, verse 8, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. Death and hell. On May 21, 2011, Judgment Day began for the world, and God shut the door of heaven while billions of people are still alive physically on the earth. And by shutting the door of heaven, he ended his salvation program, and effectively he turned the world into a graveyard. Hell in the Bible is the grave. It's death. And that's why it says death and hell are in view with the pale horse. And it's only at this time, at the end of the world, in the day of judgment, that really the character of the earth is death and hell. When this period of time is over, we read in Revelation 20, verse 13, "And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works." So we see death and hell, judgment for mankind. And then verse 14, "And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire." This is the second death. That's on the literal last day of this prolonged judgment day period. God will destroy the world, the world's hell right now. As Psalm 9, verse 16 says, the nations are turned into hell. So when God destroys the nations and destroys the world, he will be destroying death and hell, and they will burn up. That's what 2 Peter 3 describes, the fiery destruction of the creation on that literal last day. And so the horse in Revelation is the name that sat on him. And remember, to sit in the Bible means to rule. Death and hell are ruling over the earth. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's overcome the inhabitants of the world. And then again, last day, the last enemy to be destroyed is death. We read in 1 Corinthians 15. So when God destroys all of the wicked and all the cursed creation, death and hell are utterly destroyed themselves, because there will be no more death or hell into eternity future. So the end of death and the end of the grave or hell is coming shortly when we reach that last day. And it says, continuing in Revelation 6:8, "And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the earth." Fourth part, and it's also the fourth seal. Verse 7, "I heard the voice of the fourth beast or living creature say, 4, 4, 4, 4. And 4 is the number for universality, 4 points of the compass, worldwide. So death and hell worldwide across the face of the earth. And God is pouring out his wrath. And then there will come the day when God is finished. He has completed it. That day is coming. And then on that day, God will have completed everything for this world, and he'll take his people. When he takes us out of the world, where is he taking us out of? The grave. Even if we are physically alive, all the elect, that great multitude that'll be raptured, we, differentiate between the physically dead elect that are in the ground, they're in the cemeteries, and the physically alive elect that are still breathing on the literal last day of Earth's existence, yet God has arranged for all to come out of the grave or come out of hell. Literally, the physically dead come out of the grave. And I keep saying this because with some people, I don't think it registered yet. And they might hear me say that, people in the cemetery are in hell. It's the same thing. Grave and hell, same word in the Old Testament, Sheol. So when people come out of the grave, they're coming out of hell. And likewise, when the elect physically alive are lifted up in the rapture, we're coming out of a world, well, if we happen to be alive at that time, we're coming out of the world that has been turned into hell. So we too are following really a biblical principle as well as a biblical necessity. You have to die first in order to come to life. That seems to be the pattern in the Bible. Christ died, rose from the dead.
Thanks for watching, and be on the lookout for more new open forum excerpts that will be added periodically.